All right, good afternoon. It is June 10th, 2022, and here's what we're looking at for today. So you could see in the overnight we started out in this range, but then this news item came out, and they just formed a spike in channel down. I think that was like a 20-point bar that you see right there. We'll measure it, but I didn't think this was the channel right here, and you can see it doesn't really seem to. It looks like the midline holds prices. Yeah, that's definitely valid, but I don't think that really helped you much here. So I just looked at it like this. It's kind of a shorter term channel. Oops. I don't know why. I can never get that down. 156 ticks, so 25. What is that? It's like 37-point bar, I think, if I'm doing the math correctly. So anyway, we start out in this range. Really, no clear highs or lows. But this is what I was looking at, and so we come off the lows, and we have this form this channel. You get a first failed second entry short. You can see the EMA holding prices right there. So you might have considered that. It seems too congestive here for me to appreciate that or want to take that. Excuse me. So then we get this huge drop, spike and channel down. And you just know the bias is down here, so you get a first entry, second entry. There's room back to the EMA, so I like that, but it's just, it looks like this could be a large leg of correction. But another thing I like is that there's room to that trend channel to take that. But you can see it clearly a lot of sellers like this as well. Get a break. Really, this looks like the break, move to a new low, correction. Then we just start moving down. So we get this. This is actually a second entry trap right here, and that's what these overlapping bars. I think you only want to take those when it's at a trend channel, because I've gotten trapped on things like this before. First entry, this looks like a long trap, so they trap the longs, but then they trap the shorts right after that, and then when you get this, that's what usually, in my opinion, what I've seen, it usually feels like these are like third entry traps, but you typically don't want to be taking these. I'm not advanced enough to feel confident in this. But you can see, I mean, you can see the price action in that. That, to me, all right, I had an interruption, but I'm pretty sure I just got done talking about this. So we come down, and we have this potential trend channel. So really, you would have had your trend channel drawn like this. And that makes these trades coming up a little harder to see, because I think, yeah, I would have had my trend channel drawn like this, but it ends up this is a channel. So we get this leg of correction. You get a break and two attempts to go higher that fail. And that's off the trend channel. So if you see that, I say you take that. This is a second entry short right here, but and it kind of looks like a repeat of what we saw earlier, but this one's not as good of a signal bar. So you might take this failure, but it looks congestive to me, and it looks like you're entering into the bottom of a range. So anyway, you can count this as a new high. First entry, failed second entry. I like that coming off the highs of this channel. You get this lower high, but then it closes too low for me. Come down here, you get a second entry short, but that's far from the EMA. But we are looking for a new low because this is pretty clearly a move down. But then you could argue that this was the new low. So that's why it's important to draw your trend channels. But you can see this thing just keeps going lower and lower. I did have a feeling that this was a range though, so I drew it. You can see we make a double bottom before bouncing. You get a second entry right here, but you're just kind of in no man's land, and I think you would have this channel drawn, so that's aggressive. And you can see it gets you a scalp, but doesn't even make it back to the EMA. That's why you typically, I think in a situation like this, would want to wait on a lower high. You can see we just go sideways, break out to the high side, come down here, too far from the EMA, but we do get a bounce off the channel, but you're going right into the lows. And then you get a second entry here, but that's just in the middle of that range. But I would be looking for a new low right here. We didn't quite get that, so your timing would be a little early, and that kind of after the fact, this kind of does look just like one leg of correction right there. So you get our second leg before it drops. So then we come up here, and I got a lot of lines. It's a little busy right here. We make this new low, come down. You get two attempts to go lower. That's actually a second entry, but I'm not going long at this point. This is too early. And then we form this range. So you have a potential range right here. This looks like a double bottom, first entry, second entry. And then you have all this congestion right here. And then you get a first entry, second entry right off that trend channel. I like that. Looks like it traps longs who are playing this channel. I like that move. And then we're just playing off the midline, and we bounce out. So we form this upward channel, and I think that's what we're in right now. And I don't see anything in this. Come down here. You get this like higher low, but we didn't have confirmation of the channel yet. That comes right here, and this is a second entry, but it's not a good setup. And then we come up here, come back, bounce, and you get a second entry long, and it's off the trend channel. Only thing, I'm marking it aggressive because it's not the low of the swing. It's one tick higher, and also because we haven't made it to the top of this channel. And so you can see we almost made it just now. And look, you get a second entry right there. Oh, that's the second entry. And that's why you don't go long unless it touches your trend channel right there. But that's also below the EMA. That's a nice trap. So if you see that, maybe you take this one too, but that looks congestive at that point. So I don't like that. So that's how I saw it today. I hope everyone has a great weekend. My schedule is definitely going to be different from here until late August because I'm in education and now I'm off for the summer. So not too sure when I'm going to be getting these videos up, but I'm going to do my best because I do feel like this benefits me. So have a great weekend. I'll be back next week.